Welcome to today's episode of Entertainment Fanatics. I am your host, Don Wen. On today's episode, I'm interviewing Leigh Paonessa, who runs the PA Bootcamp in Hollywood, California, which specializes in training people for production-assisted jobs. I asked some questions about where she gets started, advice on how to succeed, and some things she would change about the industry if she could. Let's get started. Hello, Leigh. Thank you for coming onto the show. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So, first question: can you introduce yourself to the audience and tell them a little about what you do and your background in the entertainment industry?
Okay, so a little bit about me and my background in the entertainment industry. My background is small in the personal sense. In the industry, it's very wide. I've been doing this since I was 18, and I have done a lot of shows in a lot of different formats. Features, series, something that they used to call movies of the week that you're too young to know about. Before streaming was invented. And now I train production assistants so that they can have an easier way to get into the industry.
What made you want to work in the entertainment industry?
I have no idea.
That's funny.
That's funny, yeah.
Not a clue.
Sounds about right, though, right?
Yes, that sounds about right. Yeah,
I wanted a job.
Very fair.
pretty straightforward. Yeah. What was your first job, and how did you get a foot in the door?
My first job was office PA, which we trained you, which is the boring one.
Yeah.
The boring version, remember? With lots of paperwork? That one?
Yeah.
Yeah. My first job was office PA, and wait a minute. No, that's not true. My first job was set PA.
Yeah.
Hang on. Nope, that's not true. I lied. My first job was set PA. I wanted to work. I went in for an interview. They stupidly hired me. They probably shouldn't have, since I didn't know anything. They put me on an airplane that had a very, very low-functioning motor. And they flew me to a place called Coos Bay, Oregon, which I didn't know about until I got there. And I shot a feature film with Vincent D'Onofrio and Gregory Hines.
What was some challenges you faced when first starting your career?
Mostly social challenges. So I was able to do the job. Whatever they told me to do, I could do. That wasn't challenging. It was the way that I talked, the tone of my voice, the words that I said to express myself, the things that I said that might have come across a little wonky. And remember, this is 20 years ago, so people were more judgmental. I mean, they're pretty judgmental now, but they were even more so. Yeah.
So how do you overcome the social aspect of your job?
I talked less.
Very wise.
That's very
a lot
wise.
of wisdom.
Yeah.
All right.
I found a way to talk less.
What does a typical day look like for you on the job?
Oh boy. Okay. Waking up very early in the morning, finding clothes and car keys in the dead of night, and in temperatures that will later be very different in the afternoon. Driving to where I'm supposed to be, showing up, talking less, doing a lot of waving. Good morning, everybody. Hi. And then plugging in my surveillance mic to my radio and waiting to be told what to do. If I'm not told what to do, I simply go to where I know they can see me, but not touch me too close to touch, and just stay out of their way. I pay attention to where the camera's looking, and I stay out of their way. I let them know that I'm there, but if they need me, they can call me on the radio.
Okay. So how you deal with people who can be difficult at times?
I listen to what they have to say. I make my face look like everything that they have to say is super important. And then I just sort of ignore them.
But there's quite a few of those instances that you've probably encountered, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time, the things that they have to say are their release of their anxiety, frustration, and tension. I don't have to take that on. That's not my problem. That's their problem. But the more work that I do and the more people that I realize of that is how I get better at it. These are not my problems. These are their problems. And you have to know that. You have to have a lot of confidence in your brain to know that these are not my problems. These are their problems. But you also have to make it look like you're interested in what they have to say.
Sounds like if you're a people pleaser, it could be very, very hard.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the hardest part of the job.
Probably wouldn't last. You probably gotta have thick skin.
No, it's the hardest part of the job, because most of the time you just want to say, go do that yourself. I don't have to do this for you. You can go do this yourself. You've got the time and I don't have to do this. But you can't.
You have to just kind of deal with it, basically. What was your favorite set to work on and why?
Favorite set to work on? Super 8? I don't know. Okay, let me figure out the first...
Monster Season 1.
Monster Season 1. Ooh. Love that one. That's the Jeffrey Dahmer Netflix. I worked on that. Loved that. That was a great show for me. Charlie's Angels wasn't bad. Swordfish wasn't bad.
Anchorman 2.
Ooh, Anchorman 2.
So which Charlie Angel, is it the one with the Elizabeth Bank or the original one?
Which one? It was Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore. Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore, and Cameron Diaz.
Not the Elizabeth Banks one, huh?
No. Was there an Elizabeth Bank one? Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I did the original.
Okay.
But I don't mean original like 1970s. Because there's a lot of original. Yeah. Now I need the definition of the word original.
Do you have any memorable stories that you like to share?
Memorable story do I have to share? I don't have...
Talk about the 5 of you on doing SeaWorld on Anchorman 2.
Oh, yes! Okay, that's a good one. Okay, so... I was on Anchorman 2. It was the Will Ferrell thing. And we were shooting in SeaWorld. We had 2,000 background. We had to fill the benches, bleachers, seating area of SeaWorld to make it look like SeaWorld show was happening. And I think the most fun was the responsibility for those 2,000 people every day was being given to 4 of us. Me, Gesh, Tracy, David. Four of us were responsible for the 2,000 people that worked every day. And we hit it out of the park. We had no problems. We had no stress. We had no issues. And the phone is ringing. Okay. So we had an easy time of it, and it was fun.
Since you've been working in the entertainment industry for a long time, if you could change anything about the entertainment industry, what would you change and why?
There are 2 things. 1, set PAs should be allowed to sit down. And the reason why is because an 18-hour a day or a 21-hour day, like on a video, can be trying. It can be difficult, but it's also not necessary. We're not security. We're not guards. We're not police. We're people who communicate and facilitate. There's no reason for us to not have an opportunity throughout an 18-hour day to sit down. It doesn't make our job any less important. It doesn't make what we do less important. So that's number one. Number two would probably be a raise in pay for people who are non-union, like us, set PAs, office PAs, all PAs. They're trying to unionize us, but that's very difficult to do because studios aren't going to pay for something like that. So sitting down and rate raise.
Can I just say that's insane that even has to be said? An opportunity to sit down. Like, that is wild.
18-hour days, 14 hours is minimum. 18 hours is standard, 16 is common. On a video, depending upon the video, you will shoot for 21 hours because you're not shooting for a long period of time in terms of days. You're shooting it for a long period of time in terms of hours. But you're not allowed to sit.
You'll actually get in trouble if you sit.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's crazy. That's baloney, yeah.
You will get in trouble. It makes you look, to the people who are hiring you and paying you, it makes you look two things: lazy and uninterested.
Wow.
Would love to see that change.
Makes no sense. It doesn't make sense.
It's good. It's cool to hear that from someone who's tenured too.
Yeah. Kind of mentioned about that. Kind of mentioned about your point. My next question is, how many hours and days do you typically work as a PA?
Okay, so 5 days a week. And the hours would be 40?
No.
No.
No, if you're doing 14 hours a day,
Yeah.
what is 14 times 5?
Dawn's good at math. What's 14 times 5?
45 times 5 is that's 70, yeah.
70. So 70 hours.
Yeah.
5 days a week. 14 hours minimum, unless we go over, which is possible.
Yeah.
16.
Yeah.
It's usually more like 80 to 90.
So it's more to 80. And let's just say that rounding up, a 100-hour work week is not unheard of.
No.
How's that?
Since paid jobs can have breaks between projects, what are some good ways to supplement income?
Oh boy. Good ways to supplement income would be doing things that we probably normally do. Like, a lot of Spectrum folk do dog walking. A lot of Spectrum folk do house sitting, babysitting, house cleaning. Anything that you can do, a part-time job maybe, a normal part-time job, like Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or, I don't know, Michael's, something like that.
So speaking about that, what do you typically do when you're not on set? Like when the project is in between breaks?
Oh, on set in between setups. Okay.
I mean, when the project is done, what do you typically do?
What do I do? Most people just live on their unemployment.
Oh.
Because they know that they're not going to be unemployed for months at a time. They're going to be unemployed for days or weeks, but not months. So most of us just sit on unemployment. We collect unemployment.
Do you have to keep signing up for that, or to just kind of just stay? You kind of just let it ride, even if you're working, because you're just going to be back in a downtime period, anyways.
We're not going to be down for long, because it doesn't matter whether or not we're staff or day playing. We're not going to be down for long periods of time. That's why the strike was so dramatic. The strike was so dramatic for the entertainment industry because it was 7 months. No one is out of work for that long. Everybody's either day playing on something, prepping something, shooting something, and posting something. There's somewhere through the stages of production that there's income coming, that there's an employment. So to have a complete standstill for 7 solid months was jaw-dropping. We were like, what the hell are we supposed to do?
Okay. My goal is to become a casting director for TV or film, but I need to start somewhere. What is some advice for someone just breaking in?
So if you want to be in casting, there's a lot of options. You start online by searching for casting directors, casting companies, and you submit your resume to them saying that you want to break into the industry in the casting department and that you're willing to do intern work because they have to feel that you're worth paying. If you don't have a lot of skills, they don't feel like you're worth paying yet. They have to have confidence in your ability. And you have to show that by being willing to learn from them while doing the job. It's kind of like their training. So there's millions of casting directors out there. There are thousands of casting companies out there. There's 2 types of casting directors, though. So you have to figure out which one you want to do. There is a principal casting director, meaning the actors, the ones that talk. And then there's a background casting director, the ones that don't talk. So you have to figure out which one you want to be a part of. Do you want to be a part of background casting or you want to be a part of principal casting? And then you have to choose that path because it's not the same person doing both.
Okay. Yeah. Are there any groups or organization that you would recommend people join, and are you part of any?
You have to.
I have to.
Yeah.
Okay, kid, here's the deal. Because you can do this. There is something called the MPTF. Motion Picture Television Fund. Okay? I volunteer there. Chuck volunteers there. A lot of people we know, strangely enough, we didn't know until we started joining, volunteer there. Dawn, it is pretty crazy because everybody who used to work in the industry or still does is at the MPTF.
Is it a non-profit organization?
Yes.
It's a retirement community.
It's a retirement community.
So cool, Don.
That's so
because
cool, yeah.
You can do it. You can do it, kiddo.
Yeah.
The nonprofit factor actually really helps because through the program through ICANN we actually can assist in getting a foot in the door with that as long as it's a nonprofit. But we'll have to talk about that behind the scenes, Don. That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah. So he can do it. It's behind the scenes. Now he's got options, and I mean like a ridiculous amount of options. So it's going to be slightly overwhelming. He can do on-campus stuff. He can do online stuff. He can do at-home stuff. There's a lot of options. I mean, the options are endless. Like, for me, it's overwhelmingly endless. But if he was to get access to take him out to where the campus is, he could actually volunteer a lot and often. And everybody affiliated with that company, that corporation, that nonprofit, is either still in the business or was once in the industry. So we're talking the people that used to be there before they passed on. We're talking Grace Kelly. We're talking Mae West. We're talking
Roddy McDowell.
James Cagney.
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster has dedicated an entire pool, aquarium area. Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Bridges.
Spielberg. Cameron. J.J. Abrams. Who was the one that was just helping us with something? Will, not the one that I
remember. Amy Poehler.
Amy Poehler was there. Maya Rudolph was there. Idina Menzel was there. I mean, we could go on forever.
Yeah. Name dropping.
Yeah. But this is all connected to MPTF.
What's the acronym one more time? The what does it stand for?
Motion Picture Television Fund. Yeah, it's wild.
We'll definitely take note of that, Don. That's awesome.
Okay. I attended the new filmmaker of Los Angeles film this Saturday. Have you been to one of these type of events, and how do you recommend I could maximize my exposure?
I haven't been to that one, but I can tell you one that you should go to that's coming up. Okay, let me see. Chuck's gonna give me the thing. Okay, you ready? Cinegear. Okay? It's called Cinegear. It's an expo. It happens on Warner Brothers lot, so you can check out the Warner Brothers lot. And it's happening June... Hang on, he's better at this than I am.
Well, it's backwards, though.
June 6th to June 9th.
Okay.
And it's free.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, exposure. Buddy boy, you're going to have to get business cards.
That was one of the questions.
That's one of the questions.
That was one of the questions. Okay, let us know. What do we got to do with business cards?
So, you have to... Dawn, do this cheap. Don't do this expensive, babe. Go to Vistaprint. It's cheap. They give you like 100 cards for $1 or something. So go to Vistaprint.
Yeah.
Okay? And have a production assistant industry type, like a film reel, one little icon, keep it simple. Production assistant business card made. Go to this Cine Expo thing and literally shower your card. Just make it rain. Blah, 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 blah. And that's how you get more exposure.
I mean, and is there anything upcoming that you are most excited about?
Just anything in general.
Yeah, anything in general that you want us listeners to know.
Okay.
Upcoming boot camp.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one that you went to, we have a PA boot camp coming up. When is it? May?
June and July.
We have May, we have June, and July.
It's online.
It's on our website, pabootcamp.com. May 18th and 19th. June, I speak German. June 22nd and 23rd. And July 20th and 21st.
Where can the audience keep up with you?
They can go to pabootcamp.com. They can go to Instagram. I'm not big on TikTok.
What's the address on Instagram?
Instagram is, I have one of the coaches that Dawn's got. It is at PA Bootcamp, right? PA_Bootcamp. Okay, at symbol PA_Bootcamp. That's the Instagram page. We're not very big on TikTok because I don't like being in front of a camera. And I don't know about a Facebook page. I think we had one, but I stopped posting on it. Instagram is the easiest way.
Thank you, Leigh.
You're welcome.
I super appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this interview. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, Dawn.
Bye. If you're interested in becoming a set or office PA, check out the PA Bootcamp at www.pabootcamp.com. Thanks for listening. See you next time.